A feel-good story coming your way. And if there's one thing Dr. Randall Ortel knows, that's good things can come from Manenberg on the Cape Flats. He grew up in the suburb notorious for gang violence, murder and drug smuggling. But he's proof that you can be defined by more than where you come from. He matriculated from Rhodes High School in Mowbray and now has 2 medical degrees, including his recently completed master's degree from the University of Cape Town, where he also lectures. He also works as a medic at Groote Schuur Hospital. Dr. Randall Ortel joins us now to tell us more about his journey. Dr. Ortel, what a pleasure to have you. Thanks so much for making your time to be with us.
Yeah, no, good morning, Leanne, and thanks for having me on Morning Live. It's such an honor to be here.
It's such a pleasure. It really is, because, you know, it's one thing speaking to somebody who, you know, finished school, went on to study medicine and then specialized and became a doctor. That is not your story. That is so far away from your story, and that's what makes you so incredible. Perhaps you want to just let South Africa into how you actually became a doctor.
Yeah, look, Leanne, I was growing up in Manenberg, born and bred, as I said, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I just loved school. I was inquisitive. I was an academic, as most of my friends will know me. But yeah, my dad's friend was a doctor, Dr. Abu Maulana, well respected in the Manenberg community, and I always looked up to him. And when I was accepted at medical school, I didn't know which way to go. I was accepted for law, dentistry, and my dad just said, "Look, you be a doctor," because people will always be sick. I took the decision and I never looked back, and I'm still in the industry.
Isn't that amazing? But I mean, in order to do this, because obviously now you're a family physician, an occupational medical practitioner, you drove taxis in order to make the money to study this. And that, I think, is what the incredible part of your story is. People just thought you were the taxi driver from Manenberg. Now, you're the taxi driver who actually was doing that to hustle to become a doctor on the sideline.
Yeah, no, that's correct, Leanne. I mean, you know, my first 2 years, I mean, I got merit bursaries and so forth. However, it wasn't enough. I mean, the merit bursaries I got was basically just to cover the tuition fees. One still needed textbooks. I needed traveling money from Manenberg, etc. It was a hustle. And I needed to find a job, you know, a side hustle or something. I looked at a few jobs. At that time, companies were paying like 10 Rand an hour. And I needed to match what I was going to earn and the amount of time I was going to spend on a side hustle. And I just looked at it, and one day it just dawned on me, why don't you just be a taxi driver? So I had to get all the necessary paperwork, the permits, you know, the PDP, etc. So I know the whole ins and outs of the industry, and I never looked back after that. I mean, I was in charge of my own shifts. I could drive as long as I wanted to. I made good money, and that really supported and carried me through medical school.
Yeah, and that's it's just so wonderful to hear this, because, you know, on top of it, you know, you grow up in an area, as you say, where, you know, you look around you and it's surrounded by gangsterism and very, very hard lives, and many follow in those directions. But you were the very first medical doctor to actually come out of that area, and I'm happy to read that since you, there are students that are studying and coming through. What inspired you? Yes, you were clever at school, but what inspired you to want to make more of yourself and not just sort of follow in the direction that I imagine a lot of your family and friends and people that you knew followed?
Yeah. Yeah, look, Leanne, I think I just had the opportunity, and for me, it's all about opportunity. And you know, even having this opportunity on Morning Live, highlighting my community of Manenberg, I know there's youngsters somewhere that's looking at this and really would want to achieve this. And I just wanted to leave a legacy, but one cannot leave a legacy if you don't put in the hard work. So the soil of Manenberg has supported me for all these years, and it's by time now that I put back into the soil. I'm even excited later on to interview some of the matrics. I'm eagerly awaiting the matric results, so I can actually, you know, go live on TikTok and actually just celebrate their success. Because, I mean, it's really hard growing up in that community. The odds are against us. There's very limited opportunities. And my plight is always, if people make it to the top, instead of moving out of the area, put something back. Oh, well, I can't say people cannot move out of the area, but at least plow back. And I just want to create that vehicle for people to plow back to. That actually gave rise to my Dr. Randall Ortel Foundation.
And this is, I want to just touch on something very quickly. We really don't have too much time, but you obviously, the matric results are out, and we've been really emphasizing how difficult it has been for, against the odds for these matrics to come through and actually put forward some good results. No electricity, the infrastructure's falling apart, the education system in many ways, unfortunately, failing a lot of our learners, but still there are those that come through, that work very, very hard and come through. You are tapping into this generation through TikTok. And I find that incredible because, I know it's there, but all I know about TikTok is dancing. That's not very good. But talk to me about how you reach out to the youth using social media, and particularly TikTok.
Yeah. So look, Leanne, I still believe I'm young, and I go with things that are trending at the moment, and that's how people relate, and that's power in somebody's hand, a cell phone. So initially, I started off, advocating for the vaccines and so forth, and busting myths around the vaccine, and TikTok South Africa spotted me and so forth, and they've made me part of the creators program, and I literally just speak to primary healthcare, the issues that really affects the community, things that are topical at the point in time, because I can't get a radio or a television interview all the time to discuss these topics. So I needed to use the resources that we have at this point in time, which is powerful, and that's on TikTok. So I put out things just as it is, how patients present to the hospital, what they do, what are the myths, what are the side beliefs, what are the cultural impacts, etc. So I think people just relate to that, and I speak their language, which is the local language called Gam,
That's amazing.
Our local
so how do we follow you? Very quickly, I've got 30 seconds. What is your handle?
Very simple, at Dr. Randall Ortel. Very simple.
Got it.
Dr. Randall.
At Dr. Randall Ortel. You said your foundation. Do you have something that we can get hold of your foundation on as well? A website? Or will we find it there on TikTok?
So it's in the pipeline. I'm just doing the last registrations because I like to make sure that everything is in place before I advertise, but it will just be Dr. Randall Ortel Foundation.
Okay, got it. Thank you. What a pleasure. Loved having you with us. Really, I really have. Thank you. Congratulations, and I hope you've inspired, especially those matrics that got their results today. You can do it. You can do big things. You really can.